What are we doing here today? We are going to do MMO Simulator. That sounds good. Yeah. So it's been a little while since I've been on here. As they say, life gets in the way. But no, just playing other systems. One system, however, I was not playing is the Nintendo Switch. I've been incredibly critical of it in the past, and all right, let's see. Pick a class. Why do I feel like that's misspelled? I feel like that's Rouge, not Rogue. I think Rogue is Rogue. It's weird. I'll be a microwave. Oh, okay. I am a microwave. Great. All right. I can shoot pizzas. All right. And I can explode. Cool. All right. I can headbutt things. All right. Just headbutt you. All right. Shoot a couple pizzas. And lovely. Okay, so as I was saying about the Switch, I was extremely critical of it in the past about its capabilities. And despite all that, I went out and I got one. So yeah, I am a owner of a Nintendo Switch. However, I really have yet to play much of anything on it. And that's kind of leads me into my topic discussion of this video here. Where are the games? I know there's, quite a few first-party games. I mean, Breath of the Wild, of course, a huge Zelda fan, but Mario Odyssey, Snipper Clips is actually really fun. Reminds me of, I'll get to that later, but, not really sure what I'm doing here. What was I saying? Okay, yeah, first-party games, Splatoon, although that's I feel like that's just Nintendo getting into the foray of the online battle shooter and trying to get some of that competitive gaming market there. So I don't really consider Splatoon a system seller, really. I feel like this trend of online-only games like Fortnite and PUBG and Overwatch and Splatoon, and I think Call of Duty Black Ops 4 is doing the online too, or even Destiny, where it's not necessarily, but it's just I don't like this trend of just online-only games. But that's another topic. So back to the Switch. It's just not a lot of games. I don't really find a good reason to play it. I tried playing it in handheld mode, and it was alright for a while. But it just seems like it's just too damn big to hold in, just hold in your hand and play. I can't. I played called an indie game. I played The Bridge, and it's fun, but just to play it handheld, it just I don't know. After probably 10-20 minutes, my hand, it's not a natural position. I mean, I kind of have the same problem with the DS too. It just they don't really design their consoles with ergonomics, or either that, or they just don't design them with people, who have normal size hands. I mean, that's the only other thing. It's like I have, normal size hands, and it's just too small, and I don't have enough room for my for my fingers. It's just they're crowding around the back, and then, he's gonna try to kill me, I think. I'll just explode out of here. And then the other issue is the games. There's the first party games, but other than that, there's not really seeing a lot of system sellers. Um, I know there's like Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Granted, I haven't finished Xenoblade Chronicles 1 because that game's like 80 hours long, and I just don't have that kind of time at the moment. Um, and that, Super Smash, that's gonna be huge. Pokemon Go, whatever the next, Gen 7 Pokemon game is gonna be. Yeah, those are all gonna, but it's all first party. And I feel like that's an issue Nintendo has, is they're not really drawing third-party developers to the consoles anymore. It's always just Zelda, Mario, Smash. It's pretty much been their linchpin of their selling point. It's just been, their legacy brands. There's no Splatoon. Yes, that's a newer brand, but again, it's an online only, so it's really not drawing that classic crowd of gamers who don't feel like playing with 20 other people. Sometimes I just have half an hour. I want to sit down. I just want to be able to relax and play something. The only game so far that I've really been able to experience that with, granted I don't have a lot of the games just because none of them seem appealing to me, is Snipperclips. Snipperclips, I thought it was going to be gimmicky. I thought it was going to be basically the one of the tech demos that was branded as a game. But I was pleasantly surprised at just a little bit of the innovation and ingenuity of it. It kind of larkens back to the old style games where you just get a friend and try to get through the level. Kind of like this, the next step in the evolution of like Battletoads or Double Dragon or something. It's not quite the brawler platformer aspect, but it's just hey, you need to do that. No, stop doing that. You need to turn around the other. Just kind of that kind of style of game. So I did enjoy that, but they don't have a lot of third-party exclusives. It's like, why am I gonna buy Skyrim again and play it on there? Why am I gonna buy, the Madden, or why am I gonna buy, I could play it on the PS4, have it run it, have the storage space for it, not have to buy a, extra SD card, and then have it run much smoother, in 4K even. You can't do that. And then back to the controller too. It's just, the lack of a tangible D-pad. And I know they just released the clear Zelda and Mario ones with D-pads, but they're missing like half the features of the normal Joy-Cons. So I don't really feel like they're an adequate substitute to the regular Joy-Con. I feel like they're just trying too hard to be innovative. It's cool. Yeah, sounds cool on paper, but nobody ever is going to take this thing on a rooftop and play Mario Kart. It's just not going to happen. And I feel like they're just grasping at straws here, just trying to be innovative, trying to get the edge up on the market, and basically reproduce the success that they had with the Wii. I understand that, I think the past 2 months now, it's been top of the sales charts. But that's really because everyone who's going to buy a PS4 probably has already bought one. There's not, the market is so saturated with PS4 owners that, unless somebody has been in a coma, whoever is going to buy a PS4 has already bought one. So I really foresee the sales of the PS4 pretty much, stagnating until the next generation, or if they announce another, upgraded console, which I really hope they don't. I really don't like this trend now of half the way through the generation release a new console. I just feel like they're releasing these console generations incomplete then. Like the Xbox, they've had 2 different iterations now, or because there was the Xbox One, and then there's a lot of issues with that. They redesigned the controller and did a couple other things, and then there's the Xbox One S. And then, I don't know who developed it first, Sony or Xbox, but, then Project Scorpio was, being whispered for months, and then finally, Xbox One X got announced, so which has the, unfortunate abbreviation of Xbox. I've seen a lot of people use, but, that's just release one console and then spend the next 6 or 7 or 8 years even developing the tech for the next console. Have the next console be a massive upgrade, and let that be done with it. Don't keep, reintroducing consoles that are just steps above the next console. Because, we're really, I can't even tell I really can't tell the difference. Unless, you go immediately from a PlayStation 4 standard to a PlayStation 4 Pro, you run from one TV to the next, you cannot tell the difference. The frame rate might be a little bit better, the loading times might be a little bit better, but, like I said, unless you're playing the exact same game on the exact same console and you got the TVs right next to each other, you really can't tell the difference. So why should we pay full price, even more, for basically the same console? Maybe a, upgraded hard drive, maybe a little better RAM, it's... I sound like an old man. Just the RAM and the teraflops, and, but really, though, it's... Just stop trying to nickel and dime us. Next month or next E3, or Microsoft's going to announce the Xbox One X Plus with a 5 terabyte hard drive, and it comes with the Kinect 5.0. It's just the console generations have gotten weird, and last generation, they had the PlayStation Slim and the Xbox Slim. And you know what? Now that I think about it, there was 2 generations of the Slims for both consoles, too. There was the Xbox 360 Slim that occurred halfway through this life cycle, and then there was the Xbox 360 Super Slim, or I don't even know what they called it, and it basically looks like an Xbox One vanilla. And then with the PlayStation 3, there was the, what did I do? Oh, okay, I got a trophy for that. Press the special use button to stop time. I don't remember what the special use button was. Okay. But, and then there was the PlayStation 3 Slim, which was basically just like a matte black kind of, I don't know what to call it, like a low-res version of the PlayStation 3. And then there was the PlayStation 3 Super Slim that had like the sliding tray and just felt super cheap. But, oh, okay, that's not good. Can I, please? Oh, the microwave is a, Sharp. A little bit of product placement there. Can I respawn? There we go. But, and then, now that I think about it, a buddy of mine, he's got a PlayStation 4 that is the same, like, case and, the same look as the launch PS4, but instead of those touch buttons, it actually has tactile like actual buttons, which is weird. I don't know when, I don't really know too much about, I'll have to look into that more. And then, to, tie this back to the Switch, if I'm going to buy a game like, I don't even know if, which, because they're not really bringing all of the AAA games to the Switch. Like, I think, Fallout 4 has yet to make it to the Switch. I want to say CD Projekt Red says they're not going to bring Detroit to the Switch. Let's say Crash Bandicoot trilogy. Let's, or Spyro trilogy that got delayed, unfortunately. Let's say I'm going to buy that. What I have all three consoles. What is my motivation to buy that for the Switch above any other console? I'm not a big fan of the portable mode, so that's not a factor for me. Why am I going to buy it for the Switch? There's no reason for me to buy that for the Switch. There's not really much of a networking capability, so I can't go up to my friends that I got the Platinum. And that's the other thing, too. There's not really even an achievement system. It seems like the achievement/trophies is just on a game-by-game basis, and there's no, overarching way of tracking them. I can't just open the console and like, oh, look at my progress in this. Can't do that. And I feel like that's a massive flaw, and that just ties into the whole lack of an online infrastructure that Nintendo still doesn't seem to grasp. I mean, we're going into 10 years now. There's, gaming has been online, and Nintendo still has a very rudimentary friend code system. I had a couple friends on my Switch, and we actually used PlayStation Network to send each other our friend codes. There's something inherently wrong with that. There's got to be a much, Nintendo really has to, get it that they have to implement a social system. They did take a step in the right direction by, implementing crossplay with Xbox One, Xbox, but it's still just putting a Band-Aid over a gaping wound that is their lack of online infrastructure. And I really don't understand the point of this. Like, why am I just running around head bashing? Like, I feel like I get the MMO aspect of this, but I'm not. I guess we're just going to explore. That's what we're going to do. Okay, tool. Okay, I don't know why. Alright, so they're definitely subscribing to the old school Nintendo model of not tell you anything that you're supposed to do and just go with it. This looks like it'll be fun. Let's go in here. Let's travel. I feel like load times really should be a thing of the past. And then, just to keep going on the whole games thing. Yeah, specifically Monster Hunter. I just recently finished Monster Hunter World. I didn't stream that just because there's so much grinding, and plus this is my first Monster Hunter, so I kind of just wanted to play around with it and feel it out, so I didn't stream that. I have over $300 in that, though. But, got the platinum on that, so no more Monster Hunter. But I was reading into it. I guess Sony signed a massive exclusivity deal with Capcom as to not bring Monster Hunter to the Switch. I guess that's just a rumor. But there's a demo for Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate on the Switch, and it is extremely inferior to Monster Hunter World. Like I said, I'm a newcomer. That was my first Monster Hunter. But just all the features that Monster Hunter World had, just to have them taken away in Generations. What am I doing here? Okay, I guess I'm going this way. Or not. Matrix. Okay. Can I use this to explode up? No. What are we doing here? Can I wall run up? No. Yeah, it's just inferior. There's no lock-on mechanism. I mean, granted, I've never played the old, but it's an older game. It's a port of an old, a game I think it initially came out on the Wii U. So it's just, or no, I'm sorry, the 3DS. No, it was a port of a 3DS game. So it's just lacking all the innovation that Capcom did with Monster Hunter World. There's loading times between each little teeny tiny area, and it feels very cumbersome and clunky in comparison. And I just feel like that's going to be the case with a lot of the cross-console, games that come to Switch. They're just going to be inferior products of the main console versions. Like, for the most part, if you put a game between the Xbox One and PlayStation 4, they're going to be, for the most part, identical. There might be just a few graphical or load time variations, just because, the consoles are built a little bit differently. But for the most part, I feel like there's not going to be an inherent difference. I don't feel like that's the case with the Switch, just because the console is so different. And, I know there's the Pro Controller and... Yeah, but I really don't feel like, that's the other thing. I touched about this in my initial criticism video. They're nickel and diming us for an extra set of Joy-Cons. It was like $80. That's insane. I think Sony just had to sell in their PlayStation, the DualShock 4s, and they were selling them for $40. That's half the price. And then, I get that there's a lot more tech in them, but I don't know. I just feel like Nintendo is grasping at straws here, grasping for innovation, grasping for anything to set them aside. Ever since, we lost Iwata, it's just Nintendo seemingly lost their way. I'm sure Miyamoto doesn't nearly have the influence that he did. Reggie Fils-Aimé just feels like a puppet. Nintendo, I think they've lost their way. And I just, that reminds me of the puppy that lost his way from Billy Madison. But, you know what? I think I'm going to get on the throne here. Yeah, get on here. Yeah. Microwave is now has won the Game of Thrones. The king is dead. Long live the king. Alright, so Game of Thrones, can't wait for Season 8, whenever that airs, hopefully soon. But I think that's where I'm going to end today. I have a Switch, probably played it all of 5 or 6 hours, really haven't played it too much. Let's see what they do with the new Pokemon games. I'll probably pick up Breath of the Wild at some point, but I'm in no rush. That's about it. Hopefully I'll be back on again soon with some more discussion videos. I'll be right back with some Life is Strange Before the Storm, but no commentary on that, just because that's the dialogue-heavy game, and I don't need to add to that. Alright, well, that's it for now. Until next time.